On this episode, we're going to cover two attacks. First involves what's believed to be the largest crocodile to have ever attacked a human being, reported in the newspapers. And the second encounter, a rider crossing a river and was ambushed by a crocodile at night. These are the moments when survival becomes a coin toss and the river always chooses first. And now for our attack, we go to Mount St. John Zoo and Bird Sanctuary, Townsville, North Queensland, that is Australia. And the date of this story is September 22nd, 1953. We have Hughie Henry. He's Aboriginal male, 60 years old, and he is working at the zoo with his wife, Bessie Henry. They are both Aboriginal, and they're working for this, Mr. Boss man, Cliff Robinson, that he get this zoo after his father, John Robinson. Cliff has his wife also, Mavis Robinson. So they are all working at this zoo. This zoo is split into two sections, bird sanctuary and crocodile section. So this crocodile section has two big enclosures, and 4 crocodiles in each of the enclosure. In one, we have a mix of 4 crocodiles, male and females, about from 8 feet to 14 feet, it said. And in the second enclosure, we have 3 females, averaging 12 feet, and 1 gigantic crocodile named Tarzan, and he's 22 feet long, they say in the report. Hughie was working with the crocodiles. Hughie had this habit that a lot of the time he was fishing in the crocodiles' enclosures. Cliff warned Hughie a lot of the times, don't fish near the crocodiles in that pools. But Hughie didn't listen and kind of laughed at it. He said, I know my crocs. I know, I had this feeling with them. They wouldn't do anything. But this day he was cutting some grass or reeds, it said, when suddenly his wife, Bessie, saw Hughie in the water with the crocodile. Tarzan got him by the leg. He starts screaming, of course. So Bessie alerted Cliff's wife, Mavis, and Mavis then started screaming for Cliff. And Cliff was the main man. He was the manager of the zoo. He knew everything about that zoo and his animals. Cliff rushed to that pool. He saw Hughie about 10 meters from the shore, didn't really think about it, just grab one iron bar, get into the waist deep water a few meters away, start smacking the huge crocodile on the head. Didn't do much. It said 3 times crocodile took under Hughie. He got him by the right leg near heel. Now Cliff grabbed Hughie under the armpits and started dragging him to the shallower water. Crocodile and Cliff had themselves a bunch of tug of war. Cliff kind of gets upper hand of them, got some yards on Crocodile. It seems like kind of Crocodile didn't really pull as hard as he could. When the Crocodile and Hughie and Cliff get about 4 yards from the shore, Hughie could basically sit down. Crocodile still got him by the heel. Cliff said to his wife Mavis, hold on, and Hughie, hold on, I will get my gun. Just as he comes back with his .303 rifle gun, the crocodile, interestingly enough, he was under the water, so the crocodile just disappeared. So the crocodile released Hughie. Cliff was kind of shocked with the rifle, wanted to kill his biggest monster, biggest attraction in the zoo. Now the interesting thing is, injuries that was dealt on Hughie was in the first seconds of encounter. What happened when Hughie was thrown into the water was Hughie was actually crouching and leaning forward in knee-deep water in an enclosure. So first of all, what are you doing in knee-deep water where the crocodiles were 22-footer and 3 other 12-footer crocodiles are? I mean, that's just insane to me. But nonetheless, Hughie was crouching forward and he was in knee-deep water, and his elbow and knee were horizontally aligned, where Crocodile smacked him with his tail and broke his arm above the elbow and his thigh bone above the knee. And then Hughie fell into the water. And then everything started. Then the crocodile grabbed him by the heel and kind of crocodile started thrashing and stuff, but didn't really do any death rolls or serious predation movement, I would say. So the next day, Hughie was alive still, but in 2 days, he passed away due to internal injuries and internal bleeding. In 1953, medical treatment was not so high level, I would say, and Hughie died. Cliff did receive silver medal trying to protect his Aboriginal friend. He did show amazing courage. Cliff did die 14 years later. This report was written all from his wife, Mavis. So that's his crazy attack, a fatal one because of the injuries the crocodile dealt. I would say definitely, even if this was in wild, it would not considered predation because the crocodile did not show some kind of death rolls, some predation, serious predation. That size crocodile would just tear that leg right off. Of course, all enclosure attacks are provoked and defensive on the side of the crocodile, so you can really classify this, but it's still attack and an amazing story, I would say. And for our second story, we go to Weavers Creek, that's Cairns District, Queensland, Australia. Again, our known location, crocodile hotspot. The date of this story is 11th of July 1924, so even older story. This will not go into our stats, official stats of attacks. And we have Stanley Andrews. He's male. Don't say the age of the man, but he's a rider and he has cattle, or he's a farmer or something. And he's riding his horse in the middle of the night towards this creek. He wanted to cross it. Now this creek wideness of this river, it's not known, but horse need to swim a little bit in the middle of the river. So it's kind of wide. This is routine trip for him. He went into the river trying to cross it. Horse start to swim. Basically, he's fully submerged except his horse's head and Stanley's upper body. And then horse regains his footsteps as the attack happened. Crocodile bite from the side towards the horse's midsection and got iron stirrup. Stanley got his leg just out of the way. A crocodile grabs midsection of the horse, ripping it badly, it said. Now the horse kind of reared on the back legs, causing Stanley to fall out of the saddle and onto the crocodile's back. Stanley immediately, started swimming towards the shore. He was just, hoping that the crocodile would not seize him, and his luck was on his side because the crocodile's focus won on the horse. So Stanley is now on the shore without an injury, luckily for him, but not so lucky for the horse. He was fatally, ripped on the side of the midsection. It was probably a large crocodile to attack such a huge animal, such a huge mass. Just an interesting story. One moment you're riding at home, routine trip, crossing this river, but in the next moment you have your horse ripped apart and you're landing on the crocodile. Just a fascinating story to me. And if you like those kind of videos, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. I hope you will see you in the next episode with another set of attacks. Take care.